Hey guys, Kool-Aid here. I'll give you a video. I'm trying to get back to doing 2 or 3 a week. Thanks for all the support there in the comment section as far as recommendations on how to help kidney stones. I learned a lot from that, guys. I really felt the love there, really did. But anyway, we had an earthquake over near the Philippines. It was a 7.2. It was about 60 kilometers deep. Yeah. There was a tsunami warning issued, so, you got to take heed to that. Usually the shallower they are, they normally don't cause as many tsunamis. So 60 kilometers, and it wasn't over land either, it was out in the ocean. So, that's why probably the tsunami warning was issued. But Scott wrote this article, and you guys go over and look at it. I'm going to point you guys there because he really explains it really well. But, what do you do once you figure out, there's an earthquake? Well, what you do is you go to USGS first, okay? Because what that does is, and why I'm scrolling down here, guys, he's got research links. Everybody go check this out, because these are all the tools that I use, and everybody else uses. Everybody can. So anyway, what we're looking at here is USGS. I'll just click on it. Takes you there. If you want to see, it shows all the earthquakes that they're picking up. Obviously, you just hit the red dot or the orange dot, whatever earthquake you're looking at. There it goes. Okay. Gives you all the information right there. Gives you the location, which is latitude, longitude, the time, the depth, the strength. Okay. So now that we know that they issued a tsunami warning, what do you do then? Well, here's something that I don't think everybody knows is actually out there. There's a National Data Buoy Center. What this is buoys out in the ocean that detect wave height. So it's an attempt to kind of give some sort of warning for tsunamis. So what you do is you go here, and then, like I said, the key's down here in the bottom left, and it tells you what these different colors mean. But if you go to these things and you hit, and it gives you specifics, okay? So let's see here. Let's see if we can't. Here's that, but I don't want that. Anyway, we go over here and we get a little closer to the Philippines, and it gives you information on what these buoys are doing in real time, I think, or at least close to current data. But the reason why these buoys are great is because not only do they detect wave height, if you measure the distance that a wave travels from one buoy to the other, you can calculate its speed. So it kind of gives you an idea of when stuff is actually going to hit certain areas. But not always, not 100% of the time, but this is at least something we can use to kind of help everybody. Anybody can go to this. This is a NOAA site, We all know what NOAA is. But USGS is there. The National Buoy Data Center is right here. So these are all great. Now, what's this got to do with Planet X research? Well, most of us are of the mindset that celestial stuff is actually the major contributing factor to why we're having so many of these events. So that's why we talk about this. So anyway, I'm going to leave that at that. Now, you can go to any of these sites, guys. I mean, like the magnetosphere. This tool's better than the SWMF, in my opinion. The sun's on the opposite. The sun's here instead of over here. Everything's facing the other direction. It's basically been flipped 180. And you can see the velocity, you can see the density, and you can see the pressure. Okay, this even actually looks kind of familiar. So you guys would kind of recognize this, but this is different colors as far as what the graph is showing. So anyway, we had a small geomagnetic storm. In other words, we were getting hit pretty good with some solar winds and things like that. Actually, Scott did a article on it up here, I believe, if I'm correct. So what we'll do is, and the KP's in here too, which is the index they use to kind of see the strength of what a geomagnetic storm is actually doing. So we'll go ahead and scroll down to that and read this article, guys. It's really good information. So here's the KP index. Whenever you see the red, obviously that's where the storm usually is. The yellow is kind of a moderate thing. It gives you a date. You know, it's on the 28th here. You can look at this graph. I've showed the KP index before. So just go look at this, check it out. You know, it doesn't look like it hung around very long, but that doesn't mean we're not going to get any more spikes, because we could. But anyway, that's what that is. I just wanted to show that to you real quick. Then the other subject, guys, is this blue explosion over in New York, right? There's been a lot of videos done on this already, okay? Make no mistake, guys, this is transformers blowing. Okay, once I show you this video, you'll understand. The question is, what caused them to blow? Okay, so we'll watch this real quick. Is it a weapon? Could a CME or a solar flare cause this? Richie's kind of pointing out that beam coming straight off of that, right? Now, we're looking at this, and most of us in this community would go straight to CME solar flare is probably the culprit on this. Well, we're wrong when we talk about it like that. All of us try, or not really try, but we kind of fall back to celestial stuff almost immediately for the cause. This right here, guys, could be something as simple as equipment failure, okay? I've been talking to a lot of researchers. Scott Cione knows somebody at New York that works on the power system up there, and he says the equipment's outdated, so it needs upgraded. So this could be equipment failure. I actually had a conversation with Scott, and I said, well, what about a CME or a solar flare? And then he really put it in perspective for me, because he told me, he says, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before. And, you know, it's like I said, we're kind of tunnel vision sometimes, and we don't, you know, sometimes we just need to step back and look. But a CME or a solar flare that would cause something like this to happen would be more widespread. If the Earth's facing the sun when it blows the solar flare, okay, if the solar flare is Earth facing, or CME, or what have you, it's going to affect at least half of the Earth all at once, okay? Not just one little area like this. Okay, this is in Queens, New York, and it didn't spread anywhere else. It was right there. You can't direct a CME or a solar flare to that one little spot, is basically what I'm saying. So, where does that leave us? Well, it either leaves us with, in my opinion, it leaves us with equipment failure or weapon. Now, Richie talks, this is Richie from Boston, this is his video. I just used this clip. I could go find this video, I'm sure, on the internet somewhere. But anyway, here it is. I'm not using it for any other reason, just to show you guys. And he does a good job anyway on this. I would point you guys over there to go watch his video on this. But he talks about the finger of God, which is a weapon that they can mount on different vehicles, and it's an energy direction weapon. We've heard about these on tanks before. I think China has one on one of their battleships or something like that. But how do we decide whether this was weaponized or whether it wasn't? Well, see, you look at this, okay? Now, I don't have good enough software to slow this down enough as far as trying to, you know, have as many frames as we can see to see if this thing generates from the bottom up or from the top down. If the transformer hasn't blown until this shaft of light hits it, then it's a weapon, which means it would be coming from the top down. Now, if this light being shined off here is from the explosion itself, from the transformer, and it starts at the bottom and goes up, then it's not, most likely it's not a weapon. Okay, unless it's something like 5G that you're not even seeing it hit or something. Could be microwaves or what have you. Of causing these transformers to blow. That's a possibility, but, you know, 5G ain't going to be that high up is basically what I'm saying here. So it would have to hit from a different direction, and then the transformer blowing would cause that light to shoot up. So, but my opinion, again, after talking to everybody and coming to all these conclusions, I really think that this is just probably simply an equipment malfunction. Okay? They've had some sort of surge. One transformer blows, and then it causes a chain reaction. So, you know, that is what it is. You can think it's a weapon because it's very possible it could be. I just can't say for sure, is what I'm saying. So, you know, you watch this right here. You see that explode. Look at that. It looks like a weapon, guys. I mean, it looks like a big laser beam coming down from the top and doing all that mess, right? Well, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be generating from the bottom. That's basically what I'm saying here. So, you know, anyway, I wanted to show you guys that. I guess the next thing I would show you guys is going to be over in my gallery. Now, you know, I come across stuff every day, just like everybody else that does this research, okay? I haven't really discussed this photo with anybody yet, but have you seen that? This is on the LASCO. Oops. Yeah, let's just bring it back there. Anyway, that's on LASCO. Obviously, it looks like a sphere. It could be, could not be. I don't know for sure. It looks like a sphere to me. It looks like that could actually be an object. Can't say 100%. Like I've said before in the past. I'm just showing you what I see. Something else I'm going to show you here really, really quick. And like I said, I've talked about this before already. Let's see here. Where is it? There it is. First off, I'm going to show you that. Look at that, guys. Oops. I'll show you that in a minute, too. Yeah. Look at that. Is that stuff shooting in front of the satellite? Sure looks like it to me. Because not only did it show up on the radio frequency view, it showed up on the visible view there on the right in the red. I mean, that's pretty intense, guys. So I don't know what that is exactly, but it's something. Let's back off of that for a minute. I wanted to show you this one. Okay, so we got this one. You know, this is the one that Scott had caught, and he sent it over to his buddy Billy, and he did all the filter stuff. Was able to actually see what it was, and it ended up being not just a flash of light. It ended up being a whole nother object, guys. Okay, I showed this in my video before. Scott and Billy did a really good job on this. You know, that's just awesome right there. So it's kind of hard to deny that something's there when you see something like that. But what I'm trying to show you here is that, if you remember right, guys, I showed you this in my last video, or one of my videos, either the last one or the one before. I was talking about these objects, right? This is a year and a half apart. Okay, the one on the top is 2018. Okay, those two objects right there look very, very similar in distance and shape to that. And this one was taken on 2017, about a year and a half before. Okay, so, you know, keep that in mind, guys. That, and then we see, where's the one Scott had? Oh, there it is. Okay, then we see this. Is it these could be those same objects, is what I'm saying. Okay, these could be the same two objects, and we're just catching them right now. Then I get on core 2, and this is really, really interesting. This one right here, I showed this in my last video right here. Not only did we have these two objects, these two showed up a minute later, or a minute earlier. Okay? I mean, yeah. And then they took, let's see here, let me go over here to this one. And then I was, obviously I scour these tools a lot, and I look at these things a bunch. And then I seen this, okay? This was on Christmas Eve, and obviously there's something there and there. Could those two be the same two objects? Just traveled that way? I don't know. But that one there at the top, that's probably putting out its own light. Something went in front of this satellite here and it caught it. Whatever it is. Alright, I mean, for all that to happen all basically in the same time frame, it's kind of odd. So just keep that in mind. I don't know exactly what that is. Could be a lot of different stuff. It could be but given these pictures that they had edited, look at that. I mean, that's something there, guys. It has to be. What is it? Don't know. Now, like I said, guys, this is stuff that there's always questions about it, basically, is what I'm saying. And I come across, somebody sent me this. I don't really exactly, I can't remember who sent me this one, but obviously the lens flare's here. It looks like another flare here. What this, is this just a big refraction of the sun? I don't know. But it is suspect. It really is. I don't know exactly what this is, but anyway, that's pretty intense there. Not to mention that the picture I just showed you here. Where's it at again? Okay, what I want you to look at, time frame is the 24th at 8:08. Well, guess what? 8:08's no longer there. If you go look at core 2, it's gone. So why would they put it out there and then pull it back off? Well, you know what? Just to show that, maybe I'll go there real quick and show you what I'm talking about, okay? Just bear with me here, okay? Remember, it's at 8:08 on Christmas Eve. This is UTC time, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Sechi, okay? I'm going to go over to Sechi. Now, what we do is we go to the core 2, and it's already there. It's its default. That's where it starts. It's core 2. Change the date. Oops. Okay, so it would be 12/24. Okay. Now, we will go ahead and submit that. And let's see. Okay. See what we get. Come on. There you are. Okay, what we're going to look at is this timestamp, right? So I'm going to see here. Pause it. No. Play, pause. Okay. That's at 7:39. Okay. Step it forward. It goes to 7:54. Then it goes to 8:24. 8:08 isn't there. Okay, that's at Sechi. Now, let's go to core 2 over, Anyway, that's where that was at. So that's not there anymore. I don't know why, but it's not. That's what I can tell you. So, I just wanted to give you guys a video here, guys. I know I haven't been putting out a whole lot. Let's look at the SWMF real quick. Obviously, that's another thing I want to show you guys. You see all this? We've looked at this before. Like I said, a bunch actually. Now, this right here is what I want to show you. This shows the data point entry of what time this was put there and what have you. Okay? When you see this all chopped up looking hash mark stuff, usually you're missing some data there somewhere. Okay? These satellites have been coming up and going down constantly. They were down for a long period of time, actually. And then, it just, yeah, when they come back up, some of that information isn't there. Right now, HI1 isn't updating, or HI2. There's just so much fishy stuff going on right now. And we have to keep in mind, guys, and this is where I start talking about, just a little bit of politics, and I'm going to end it here. Okay? Actually, I'm going to take you to a picture here. We'll end on a funny note here in a second, but yeah, I mean, when Trump, I don't ever talk about this stuff, guys, so this is just kind of my view on things, and please have your own views. I mean, don't take what I say. Just basically what I'm saying is, this is bothering me enough that I feel like I need to say something. Trump pulled all the troops out of Syria and brought them back home. Okay? Did the same in Afghanistan. I'm not sure if they're all pulled out, but the majority of them are. Now, as soon as we pulled out, the Kurds we were over there got attacked. Is that a coincidence? It's kind of hard for me to believe that that's a coincidence. The other factor is, why are we pulling them back home? Think about that just for a second. Okay, they're home. I'm going to keep saying that. They are home. So where do you think the next big thing's going to happen? Home. They are back home, okay? Now, I ain't trying to spread no fear, nothing like that. I just want everybody to be aware, and this is how I think, okay? This is how my brain works, and, it just is what it is. Some people think this is how my brain doesn't work. But it is what it is, like I said. But, when he pulls those troops back, and the biggest thing is, he went around his national defense people that his council and the Secretary of Defense and all those council members and all those kinds of things, the people he consults with to try to make these decisions, he just went and did it without basically discussing it with them, or did and went against what he said, because his head guy quit. He resigned. I think it was General Flynn or something like that. He resigned his position because of all this. At least that's what has been said. Don't know if it's true. Obviously, I don't know if that's why. Nobody's ever going to know why. But anyway, I just think we really need to keep our head, together, because, if stuff is actually going to happen back home, you start talking about, martial law and things like that, and you would have to understand that it would take a lot of soldiers to initiate something like that. And Trump has already said that he ain't going to let the government start back up unless he gets his wall, his southern border wall. He said he'd just shut the border down if he had to. But I don't, like I said, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But all this geopolitical stuff, and then all the stuff that we research here, it's all coming together as one thing, and it seems like it's all about the same thing. So just keep that in mind, and like I said, though, if you guys start getting fearful, just back off of it for a minute. Don't even look at the stuff. Shut YouTube off for a couple days. Don't let yourself fall into fear and worry and all that kind of thing. It doesn't do anybody any good. Okay? Now, guys, I'm going to show you something extremely funny. I do apologize if this offends anybody, but, this just is what it is. Have you guys seen those Walmart videos where people are in there and how they're dressed or not dressed a lot of the time? What people do is it just blows my mind to see these guys doing this. But I went and finished up some Christmas shopping with my son at Walmart, okay? We came back out. Okay, we're walking to our car. Now, if I'd had my daughter with me, this would have made me mad, and I probably would have said something. But she wasn't with me. So, basically, we were out there, and I kind of flashed this picture earlier, and somebody caught it on me. But I come out, and that's what I see. That's about two or three cars down from where I was at. Alright? I mean, woo-wee. That's one vertical smile for you, buddy. Maybe the moon needs to look like that instead of the other like it's looking now. But what made this so hysterical is he was bent down like that. Gosh, I don't know how long. He stands up, walks to the door, screams and yells at his kids or grandkids, screams and yells at his wife, comes back over and never once even attempted to pull his pants up, and then bent back over again. He did it enough that I was able to walk back and forth a couple times and snap some pictures. Okay? I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, my son says to me, he said, Dad, that ain't even ass out. That's ass and leg out. So, you know, man, I'm just glad it was cold that day, because there might have been something on the other end of that where I didn't want to see. That's for sure. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry if that offended anybody, but this thing just cracked me up. And I don't know if my video get age restricted for that. Who knows? But, yeah, I had this sent to me too real quick while I'm here. Look at that. Double rainbow. That's pretty cool. I will be giving names on these things. Give you guys shout outs. This showed up on HI1. I don't know what the heck that is. Obviously, I'm talking about this thing over here. I'll show you a couple more here real quick before I let you guys go. And I'm sorry for the length of this, but it is what it is. You know, I see that. Okay, I believe this was around the same day we seen those on the other one, on the on the Core 2. They were flashing through there, or was it Lasco? I can't remember. But anyway, guys, you know, sorry about the lack of videos lately, and this one's going to go kind of long, so I do apologize about that. Hope you guys can get something from this video. Again, look at that. I'm going to play that. It's like that. And, you know, go check Richie from Boston. Go check him out. This video, he did a really good job on this one. Check out planetxnews.org. I mean, that's just great. You know, you got Tales of Blue-Eyed Indian. He's been doing some live streams, and he's, you know, doing it up. I mean, you know, he's Hoosier strong for sure. So, anyway, we'll go ahead and leave it at that. And, you know, God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.